You guys, he did it. Oda wrapped up Egghead Island this week. We're gone. The Straw Hats are safe. The Gorosei have been defeated. And we got a little bit of Joyboy to talk about. So with that being said, let's just hop into it. It is Monday morning, and I did not expect spoilers this time around, right? They dropped a lot earlier than usual. I've heard that we will still be getting more spoilers come tomorrow and the next day. So this right here is just going to be like a, quote, part one to the spoiler adventure. But it's a pretty big part one. So just to hop right into the mix, we're only going to be talking about the main thing today, which is Emth versus the Gorosei. All 5 of the Gorosei, mind you. So that right there is already a big talking point, because when we last left off last chapter, Emth was just fighting Jupiter and Warcudy, right? Marcus Mars, last we saw, was flung away by Luffy and the group. Venus was up in the clouds being blown up by Atlas, and then Saturn was falling into the ocean after being hit by Luffy and Bonnie. But here they are. All 5 of the boys have once again teamed up to take on this robot one last time. So that means that, you know, obviously Venus has recovered, Mars has flown back, and Saturn has seemingly survived his trip to Davy Jones's locker. We're not too sure how that goes down quite yet. Like I said, these are just brief spoilers. This is not the full summary. But yes, they're all teaming up against Emth. And this is when Emth releases what he has been talking about for the past 4 chapters. And this week, we come to find out that his secret weapon was actually Joyboy's haki from the Void Century. What the hell? What the hell is this? Nobody. I am not even joking. I have seen a bajillion answers out there on what they think Emmett's final attack is going to be. And not once have I seen anybody say it's Joyboy's attack, right? Like, come on, dude. That is so crazy. I love how Oda just pulled this one out of his back pocket. But yes, it turns out that Joyboy sealed an immense amount of haki within Emth so that he could release it whenever he needs it most. And he lets it rip. Emth releases Joyboy's haki, and it sends 4 out of the 5 Gorosei back home. Dude, the haki was so strong, it sent Venus, Warcudy, Jupiter, and Marcus Mars back home. And the red line is far. Yeah, hey, the red line is not close to Egghead Island. That's a trip. That's a trip. Saturn, of course, is still here on this island. I think he took a good amount of this damage, but since he did not travel via teleportation, he is stuck here, right? He traveled here via boat, so that's probably how he's going to have to leave later on. But yeah, crazy attack, and this is a brand new implementation of haki that we have not seen before. And I do believe that throughout this final saga, we will get more showings of haki being absolutely busted. Right? Ever since we entered the final saga, what did we get? We got Shanks' Wi-Fi haki. We got Volume 4 Billion, which says that Shanks can just cancel other people's haki for some reason. Hell, we even had Kaido hyping up haki being the end-all be-all and better than Devil Fruits. And now we have Joyboy's attack from 900 years ago being released here on Egghead Island and sending the Gorosei packing. Haki is reaching grander and greener pastures every single arc. It's crazy, man. And wow, you know, like being able to store haki in Emth is absurd. And I'm not too sure where Oda's going to go with this. And the reason I'm asking that is because we don't know why or how this went down. Is Joyboy able to do this for anyone? Does Zunisha, for example, have a Joyboy haki blast ready to go? Has Joyboy put other haki blasts out there in the world? Or is this something that only Emth can do because he's a robot? We're not sure just yet, right? We don't have the chapter in front of us. We don't have the panels, so we're not too sure how he like even releases it. And another question that I'm bringing up now is, will this be enough to permanently damage and scar the Gorosei? Because these guys, you know, these old men have been able to regenerate through every attack they have taken here on Egghead Island. Will this attack from Joyboy be able to wound them, right? Because we do know that the Gorosei have taken damage in the past. You know, people have noted that, hey, the Gorosei, they all have battle scars. So something has to work on these guys. And if there were something out there in the world that could hurt them, I do think it would be in relation to Joyboy. But here's the thing though, right? If haki truly is the way to hurt the Gorosei, and Joyboy's haki was able to do that, then what does that say about Luffy right now? Because Luffy, in my opinion, maybe I have a bias because he's the main character, but in my eyes, I did see Luffy, and I thought that he had, like, the top 3 or top 5 best hockeys in the verse. But now that, Joyboy's attack is coming in here, it's like, yo, Luffy still has a long way to go. Especially if this wounds the Gorosei. I mean, hell, even if it didn't wound them, it sent them back home. Like, hey, wounds or not, these guys are not even here anymore. That's how crazy this attack is. So yeah, there's a lot of questions with this, and I do think that this could be for the best as well. I don't think there's anything wrong with Luffy needing to grow more. I love it when Luffy, Zoro, like when the whole Straw Hat crew gets stronger, that's a good thing, right? I love that there is potential for them to go above and beyond. So yeah, maybe this is a good thing for them. Elbaf comes around, we get a nice little training arc. I think that'd be beautiful. But now, as far as the Gorosei goes, right? 4 are back home, but Saturn is still here. I think that is key, because Saturn still has to take York, Punk Records, and all the other spoils that are left here on this island. Granted, we don't know if anything is around anymore since they Buster called the island and since Emth released its Hockey Blast. But hey, if anything survived, I do think Saturn will scoop up the prizes and bring it back home with him. As far as Emth goes, though, the spoilers we got today don't mention anything about Emth afterwards. It doesn't say whether or not he survived or if he escaped the island with the Straw Hats. I think he's gone. This is just a guess, but I think Emth has kicked the bucket. I think there's a reason why he didn't use the attack until just now, and then even beyond this, Emth already did lose an arm last chapter to Jupiter. And also, we have to take into consideration that the only reason Emth was around and functional was because of Luffy's Sun God Nika heartbeat. Now that Luffy has left the island and is going to Elbaf, the heartbeat's not gonna reach, right? At some point, Luffy's going to turn off Gear 5th, and then the robot's gonna just fade into oblivion. So yeah, whether or not Emth lives, I don't think it's going to matter too much right now. I feel like we will get more of Emth when we get the Joyboy flashback, but I think he has served his purpose quite well. So now, as far as the Str Hat's leaving, I think that this is a good thing. It came a lot sooner than I expected. I gave this 2 or 3 more chapters, but we're leaving today, and this does perfectly line up with the One Piece live stream that will be happening the week after. Because next week, there is going to be a break. It's kind of crazy. We went from break, chapter, break again. But this time around, it is due to Shonen Jump. They're not publishing the magazine. And that is because One Piece Week is right around the corner. That is where they will be announcing a lot of big things. Whether it's a new One Piece arc, like Elbaf, a One Piece video game, a One Piece movie, a One Piece live action trailer, if that even exists right now. And then, of course, there is the One Piece remake, which will be getting a trailer at that little festival. So there's a lot of things One Piece related there, and it makes sense as to why Oda wanted to wrap up Egghead Island in this chapter. Of course, I've seen a lot of people complaining online saying that this has moved really fast, and I kind of agree. It kind of went from 0 to 100 pretty fast, but I think that's just because we've been on a lot of breaks, so that's why, like, the momentum gets stopped, it goes up, it stops, it goes up, and I feel like once the full spoilers drop and when the chapter drops, this will flow nice and well. And of course, there wasn't anything else left to do here on Egghead Island, and if you go to last chapter, like when the Straw Hats are sailing away, you can't even see Egghead Island in the distance. So I feel like this makes a lot of sense. I feel like the flow is actually quite nice when you really, stop and smell the roses. But again, that is just my opinion, and I will love to hear what you guys have to say. How do you feel about these spoilers? Are you happy with how Oda wrapped this up? How do you feel about Joyboy and his powers? Do you think it wounded the Gorosei? Let me know any and all of your thoughts down below, and we will be back tomorrow or the next day whenever more spoilers release. Obviously, this is a Monday. Things are a little bit weird right now with these spoilers. There's not a lot, and apparently the person who released these spoilers also put some fake ones here or there. But thanks to Pewpiece and Scotch Informer and all those guys, all the goats, they did sift through the fake spoilers and pulled out the good things like what we talked about here. But yeah, let me know all your thoughts down below, and I'll catch you guys later. Signing out.